Hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we're doing the second recipe from the Gingerbread Cookie Murder. It is called Hannah's Favorite Chocolate Mousse. We have made mousses and puddings before, and those recipes I don't recall as being very hard or complicated. This one is. You've got to melt chocolate and butter in the microwave, and you have to mix together egg yolks and sugar and water. And you gotta set that aside, and you have to beat egg whites, and then you have to boil sugar. Maybe boil the sugar and the water together, and then you have to mix that into the egg whites while they're whipping, but not hot enough to cook them. And then you have to put in the hot melted chocolate into the egg whites and not knock all your air out of the egg whites or something. It's very complicated sounding. There are so many ways to mess this up, so many ways. But the one main note on this recipe is that the eggs are not cooked in this recipe. If you have concerns about raw eggs and food safety, use pasteurized eggs. I'm pretty sure every egg from the store is pasteurized, unless you're getting yours from a homegrown chicken down the street. I don't think you have to worry about that. But you're going to want 3 1-ounce squares of unsweetened chocolate, so 3 ounces of unsweetened chocolate, 2 tablespoons of cold salted butter, 1/4 stick, 4 egg whites, a quarter teaspoon cream of tartar, 3 tablespoons of water, 1/3 cup white granulated sugar, 3 egg yolks. Use the leftover yolk to add to the scrambled eggs in the morning. So basically you want 3 whole eggs you're going to separate and 1 where you just want the white. And then you're going to want 1/4 cup of white sugar. So in total, I'm not good with measurements, but you're using granulated sugar twice in this recipe. And then you want 1 tablespoon flavored liqueur or prepared strong coffee. It also says you can use 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract if you don't want to use liqueur or coffee, because again, there's no real cooking in this recipe, so it's not going to bake out. Like I said, we'll just go through it. It's so complicated for a pudding. I'm both hesitant, a little bit scared, and thinking this is going to taste awesome. We will see, but I have everything ready, so let's get started. Here is everything that we need for these ingredients. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to break our chocolate into a microwave safe bowl. And definitely when you're working with these baking squares, pay attention to the box, because sometimes the squares are not an ounce. I like the old-fashioned baker's one that literally said how much each chunk was, but even those I think are 1/4 ounce per chunk now. These ones are 1/2 ounce a chunk. So you just kind of have to watch what you're doing with it. All right, then we want the butter. And it says to microwave both for 1 minute on high. So while those are going in the microwave, we're going to take our egg whites. And you can do this by hand with a whisk if you feel energetic, the book says. Egg whites. And the cream of tartar. And we want this to go until we have soft peaks. When the chocolate comes out of the microwave and it is perfectly melted, if it's not, you can put it back in for 20-second intervals. It just says to set it aside and let it start cooling down. It says you can test these by dipping in a spoon. I've always just been taught to do this. I don't think these are quite ready, but they might be. So, they make peaks and they wiggle. I might give it a second longer. Okay, so we're going to leave this here, and then we're going to take the 1/4 cup of sugar or the third cup. Which sugar? Yeah, the third of a cup of sugar. And the 3 tablespoons of water. It doesn't say to mix it. It just says to pop it in the microwave for 40 seconds. But to be careful and remove it with pot holders because it will be hot. So it says to drizzle this in while this is beating. It says to mix it till it's incorporated, but I don't see really any difference. But now we're going to transfer it to a separate bowl. So I was going to use a metal bowl, but I decided not to do that because if this is hot, you don't want it to make it hotter, I guess. I don't know, but we're going to use this glass one. It's kind of reminding me of marshmallow fluff at the moment. But we're going to set that aside. It says to rinse this out and dry it. It doesn't have to be impeccably clean. Why would you rinse it and dry it if it doesn't have to be impeccably clean? Why can't you just scrape it and then use it anyway? That's what we're doing. Screw it. It's all getting mixed together again. So now you want your 1/4 cup of sugar. Along with the 3 egg yolks. These guys. Beat them for 1 minute. We've had our minute. Now it says to cup your hands around this, and if the mixture is not so hot, it'll cook the egg yolks. Give it a stir, then turn on the mixer and add it in. If it's too hot, just wait a minute or 2 until it's cool down. This actually feels really good on my hands, so I don't know what that says. It's not hot though, it's warm. So I think we'll just give it a stir and drizzle her in. Okay, once that's done, don't forget about whatever kind of flavoring you're using. I'm actually using Kahlua. Once that is nice and mixed in, you are done with your mixer. So we are supposed to fold this into this, stirring slightly until you can no longer see clumps of egg whites. It does say that once you're done, to work quickly into transferring it into whatever because it's going to harden quickly. So I have these 4 parfait cups. I'm hoping it's enough. Because this recipe is not making very much. So I have a tendency to not get everything mixed in, so I'm going to try to do a little bit at a time to see if I can kind of work it slowly so I don't have random bits of egg whites. But the chocolate is so stiff. It is looking like chocolate pudding. I don't see any more specks. So, this bowl. Now the question is, how do I get it into the cups? I think I'm going to spoon it in somehow. These are now done. It just says to pop them in the refrigerator they'll now set up quickly. It doesn't say a time frame, it doesn't say what you're looking for, it just says they'll set up quickly. And then it says you can serve them with pieces of fruit on top or sweetened whipped cream. And it says 4 incredibly rich, almost fudge-like servings. So pop these in the fridge, clean up the kitchen, and then we'll be back to try them. Okay, so it's probably been about 20 minutes. I've let it set up. I added whipped cream and shaved chocolate on top to make it fancy. It's like chocolate ice cream. It's a softer, almost like a soft serve version of chocolate ice cream. Like you could totally add like more cream to this and put it in like an ice cream machine and get a rock and chocolate ice cream. The only downside is it didn't make a lot. I could probably eat 2 of these in a serving and be so happy. It is rich, but it's light and it's airy. As I eat the entire thing talking about it. They are so, so good. They came out like extraordinarily yummy. I don't think of it as a mousse. Maybe I don't know what a mousse is. Maybe it is a mousse. It is light, it is airy. It is definitely a cross of a pudding. It's like a lighter, airier pudding. So I guess that would be a mousse, isn't it? I don't know. They're delicious. They were not hard to make. They were really quick. I think all in total, it took about an hour. And like so you get 4 yummy, delicious puddings. Next week, we are making double chocolate drop cookies. If you are interested in seeing those, join us next week. I'll have a good one. Bye.